So the student planning committee used to say that they had ownership over a particular aspect of planning, and I sort of drew them back and say, we're now going to work on partnership. And parallel to the student planning committee, I created a teacher planning committee. And sort of every Shabbaton would have 8 student madrichim, or students in the grade, who were planning it, and they would work alongside a teacher who was their partner in planning. My feeling was that that teacher, it took some of the onus off of me, because now meant that I had 4 teachers, each of whom was running one grade 9 Shabbaton in partnership with a group of students. But it meant that that teacher felt empowered, felt that he or she knew what was going on, and also started recruiting his or her friends to come on the Shabbaton with him. So I created sort of committees, which were a group of students and a teacher who were working together towards creating a Shabbaton. And then those teachers I had talk to one another so that they could share their ideas. So it's moving away from an ownership model towards a partnership model on like the macro planning level.
Mm-hmm.
And we could play with that as is teacher engagement a form of innovation? And how does it allow us to do new things in new ways? But I might just be forcing down the theme of this webinar into what you want to talk about. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I have to think about it, and I have to. Clearly it's not, because I'm not the one in charge of planning, but
right.
I would have to think about how to bring this to the group that's the planning group right now. There's a
right.
teacher planning group, the staff that usually goes. Plus, usually there is a student committee that does a lot of the recruitment of kids for the davening, for the Torah reading, etc. Divrei Torah. There is a committee that does this, and they will come to. For instance, they'll come to me. There are 2 teachers in particular, 2 staff members who go and who are Torah readers or will daven. So I'm one of them. So kids will come to me and say, "Will you read for our Shabbaton?" or whatever. So so that way, and you eat together and whatever. So, there is, it's very enjoyable when we're there, both for the staff to bond as a staff and also to talk to the kids in a different way. So
right.
that's I have to figure out how to, what I would do with this.
It's also, we need to recognize it's enjoyable for some staff. Often staff who have like a camping background, teachers who sort of relate to students in that way. For some teachers, it's really intimidating. Some teachers, I'm trying to find a way to say this in a nice way. Some teachers need, some teachers teach in a way that I heard from teachers, they were concerned that their authority would be diminished in the classroom. Right. If they can run a Shabbaton, because of the different relationship. Whereas other teachers said, because of the relationship I built, now I don't have the same problems of classroom management.
Right.
So a lot of that is going to depend on who the teacher is and what their relationship is with their form of pedagogy and their form of classroom management.
Right, right.
And it may not be for everyone.
Right. No, for sure.
I would be very happy to talk about this more, if you'd like to get in touch with me.
Okay.
I tried to keep track at one point of the number of school Shabbatim I went on, and I stopped.
I'll make sure that you receive Daniel's email address.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Sorry, that was I just sort of sitting in my mind there.
I understand. The Wednesday before our Shabbaton, that's where my head would have been. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would actually like to. I would like to be in touch with you, not just about this, but the other thing that the school is starting to embark on is some curriculum change in the Judaic Studies department, and really thinking about different formats and like completely different formats from what we have now. So that's something else that. And maybe ways to incorporate some experiential learning in that as well.
Right.
So that might be something. So if you don't mind, we could talk about that later as well.
I'd be happy to. Good.
Okay.
Excellent. Daniel, any last comments before I wrap up our webinar?
No, I think I'm
I
done.
mean, what I like to say is that I think John laid out sort of this framework, which has allowed me to reflect on some of the things that I called innovation in the past.
Right.
I took his framework and I laid out these 6 questions, which I think were really helpful for me to sort of work out what I was doing and what the goals were and was it really moving me forward. And I think that rubric was really helpful for me to sort of reflect on my own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that it's a framework that we can use in the future for reflecting on other experiences, which to me is really exciting. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Flora. I mean, this was fascinating for me, especially because you have Shabbaton in your mind. I'm glad I did this one and not the other case I was thinking about.
So good. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Daniel, I want to thank you very much. Flora, before you hang up, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. And Flora, I just have 2 notes. The first is that you will receive an evaluation form.
Okay.
You'll receive that in your email probably tomorrow morning.
Okay.
If you would fill that out, I would greatly appreciate that.
Sure.
And then you're not yet a member, if you are on Facebook, if you're not yet a member of the Princeton Steinhardt Award winners Facebook page, I encourage you to join so that you can connect with your colleagues, not just from the 2010 year, but from the past 11 years.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Well,
Great.
thank you both so much, and Flora, I will send you the email address along with the evaluation.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Have an excellent evening.
You too.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tina.